Welcome to another episode of RES with Jess. Today I'm joined by Vuhlandes. He is a professional photographer from the west side of Detroit. His surroundings have influenced his unique style, street, gritty, yet clean. Through his images, he loves to capture the raw emotion of his subjects, as well as meaning and working with new people. He believes it's important to show the world that it's not always sunshine and rainbows, because that is a different side of the world that some may never see. Welcome, Vuhlandes. Good morning.
Morning. Very early.
Yeah, it is. I think when we said 11, we were both thinking like, okay, it's going to be manageable, but what time did you wake up this morning?
I wake up at like 8 every day, but
8 a.m.?
Yeah, I got to get to it. Got to get up and get to it.
What I saw breakfast. That you did a photo shoot in the snow, and when there was a snowstorm. Did you wake up early for that too?
No, it didn't even start snowing until like 1 p.m. So I was like, I just looked out the window saying it was snowing. I was like, I'm going out there.
It was just an impulsive thing?
Yeah. Probably not going to do that ever again, for real.
Why? What happened?
I don't like the snow. I don't like that's a lot.
Did you get some good pictures? Is your camera still working?
Yeah, the camera's fine. Both cameras that I use are fine. It's all right.
I think every photographer would be terrified to take their camera in the snow. You drop it and it's over. It's like in the ocean, basically.
Yeah, I shouldn't, but like I treat my cameras like they're not cameras for whatever reason.
I know, I saw that you were holding it. You got some comments about you holding it by the viewfinder, right? People were like freaking out.
Yeah.
I love how you're just like, whatever, I don't care.
I mean, it's my stuff. Who cares?
You probably get comments like that a lot on your YouTube channel.
I do. People, like sometimes I set my camera like face down on the lens. Like I set it on the lens. Yeah, people freak out about that, but I don't know, bro. It's my camera. Whatever.
I mean, you're taking good care of it. It still works.
It still works. That's all I care about.
Wait, but the real question is, do you put a lens cap?
I don't have a lens cap.
Vuhlandes,
I've lost every lens cap I've ever owned.
We need to get you a lens cap. I'm gonna help you. Well, you helped me with finding a good film camera. So maybe I'm not the best at finding you the lens cap, because you know what? There's like 50 different lens cap interfaces, if I guess, that fit into certain, like I lost the backing to one of my lenses and I ordered it online and I'm like, oh, this is gonna fit, and it literally did not fit. I had to order like 3 or 4 different versions until I found one that fit. I'm like, this is a puzzle. This is a labyrinth.
That's too much. That's too much. I can't do it.
So on top of, being on YouTube and dealing with, with the comments, how has it been just doing your photography outside of that? Because there was a point in time where you didn't do photography on YouTube. You were just doing it kind of on your own, not really showcasing too much. Like it's kind of like a private sort of process in your photography. So how was that transition for you?
It was cool. I started doing photography because I wanted to, like, I guess, show my perspective and thoughts on photography and making photography. I do still take photos, like not on YouTube, like just go out and take photos for me, because taking photos for YouTube could get like, am I taking this photo? Am I doing these photos for YouTube, or like, what am I doing it for? So I do still go out and take photos. Like I'm working on a book, so I do need to go out and shoot some stuff. And not all the time do I have someone with me to record me, or not all the time do I want to be recorded while taking certain photos. And not all the time am I in a position where like this is like at my mom's house with like my nephew and my sister, like this isn't a time to be recording this and stuff. So I do still have that privacy. But I really started YouTube just to show my perspective and thoughts within photography, because I felt like they're a little different. The same as a lot of other people, but different in a way.
Isn't it interesting that there are some YouTubers who record every part of their life, like every single day, but then there's people like us, we literally work with cameras and lighting and photographing people, and yet there's like times where I'm like, I do not want to be on video right now. Like I guess I could just do this without it.
Yeah.
It's like if anyone should be videotaping what we're, I don't know, isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. I gotta be like in that mindset. Like sometimes I don't know. Yeah, it is weird. Sometimes I wake up or there's days where I don't even want to touch a camera at all. Like not let alone be on camera, but just even touch my camera. But I don't know. I do it so much. I've been doing it like every day of my life for 7 years. So yeah,
We kind of get sick of it.
yeah.
Plus, I don't know if you agree or not, but being a photographer and knowing the lighting and how, like the angles that I like, if someone's not
Hmm.
going to capture that, then in terms of like someone, especially taking your portrait, like
Yeah.
how do you respond to people wanting to take pictures of you being a photographer?
Um, I don't know. I gotta see the work. I gotta
You
see what
won't let
they.
just anybody take your picture.
Nah, because like I care about like what I look like, and not to say that like I don't know, like people are bad at photography, but like certain, I don't know. I want to be captured a certain way. I guess I don't know.
You don't want that direct sun, no backlight.
Nah. I mean, it depends though. Like I've gotten my photo taken and like by people that are very good photographers and haven't liked the photos before because like it's just me. Like I feel like when you get pictures taken of yourself, you have a different perspective on photography. But I don't know. It depends, I guess.
I'm kind of the same way. I get kind of awkward, even though I've been directing people for so long. You just
Hmm.
kind of overthink it, and you're like, okay, like would this lighting work for me? Like, you, I feel like you kind of disconnect yourself from what the photographer is actually. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like getting my picture taken. I don't know about you, but you actually took my picture one time, and I think you did an amazing job. You took my pictures on film.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
How was I as a client?
Good. Like anybody else that I take pictures of, honestly, wasn't an issue.
So let's go back to you starting photography like, have you always been interested in taking photos?
Yeah, so when I've always been interested in like photography because like I would see it around going to school and just around in the wild, I guess. But where I'm from, like photography isn't something that's preached or taught or anything like that. So I thought photographers were only like middle-aged white men who like shoot for National Geographic. I didn't know it was like this big community of photographers and you can be this type of photographer or that type of photographer. I just only knew one thing because of TV and where I was from and the education I had on it. But I started getting more into it once I got on the internet. I like had a Tumblr. I never like posted photos on Tumblr, but I did see a bunch of photos on Tumblr. So I would just like look at photos of like whatever. Like I seen pictures from other countries, portraits of people, like documentary style, like kind of photos and stuff like that. And I never knew that that type of stuff existed. I thought the only type of photography was like the National Geographic type of photography. But um, yeah, once I got introduced to it, I still didn't like start being a photographer till like years after that, but I've always liked it, I guess.
So what made you want to choose a film camera? Because I feel like when people start photography, they go to digital, like the
Hmm.
Rebel series or maybe like the Mark series.
I did. I started off with a T3i.
No way. I guess
Yeah.
look at me guessing this stuff. So what made you
when
want to do that?
when I used to skateboard a lot. Like I still skateboard, but I used to skateboard like a lot. Like I was trying to go pro. But um I had ended up hurting my ankle really bad. Like couldn't even walk on it. And like I definitely couldn't skate anymore. So I always wanted to start photography, but you know how when you want to do something, you always like have a reason to not do it. Like, I can't spend that much money right now. I don't know. You always have a reason to why you're not doing it. So I always had a reason. But once I hurt my ankle, I was like, all right, like, I'm gonna finally go get a camera because I need to be doing something. I'm the type of person I can't just sit in the house. I need to be doing something, even if it's like walking around. But so anyway, I went and got a camera. I went to Target. I was like, what camera? Like I asked the person there, like, what camera should I get? And yeah, got T3i, and that's it.
Had that not happened, like the skateboarding incident, do you think you would still be doing photography or would you still be skating?
Probably, I probably will, but it probably would have taken longer. I don't know. I think I'd probably be skating more. I think I'd be like I wouldn't call myself a photographer, but I'd have a camera,
So
something
you
like
wouldn't
that.
go like to the extent that you are right now.
Probably not if I was like too focused on skateboarding.
Do you find it more of like, oh, I missed this opportunity in skateboarding, or do you feel like, hey, this opened an opportunity that I was missing in photography?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I missed the opportunity. Like if I'd rather be doing photography and skateboarding. I love skateboarding. That was like my first passion, the first thing I ever like, the first like art form that I ever like fell in love with. So like I'll always love it, but I'd much rather be doing photography because 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, but like maybe a month before that ankle thing happened, I was no, maybe like 3 months, but I was in a hospital for like kidney failure for like 2 weeks. Yeah. And the when I went to the hospital, I had just got done skateboarding. Like I was skateboarding all day. And then like I was like on my way home and like my stomach started hurting really bad. So like worse than it's ever happened, like worse than it ever has before. So went to the hospital, got admitted because my kidneys were failing. And then like even then, like skateboarding just like felt weird to me because that happened all like after skateboarding. And I was like, oh, I'm in like I associated my kidneys failing with skateboarding. So after I got like over it a little bit, because you know you still want to do stuff. Like even if you like go through something, like I'm gonna still do it.
You
So
get out of the hospital, you go right back.
I know so many people was like, bro, like chill out on the skateboarding. Like you because I was doing it every day, all day. Like literally it was my life. And um I started doing it and then I hurt my ankle. So maybe it was a sign to like, bro, get off the skateboard. Like the universe was like, bro, stop. You're doing too much.
But it's interesting that you go into now more environmental portraits.
Hmm.
Like, why? I would think that maybe you would have an interest in maybe photographing skaters or maybe something with a little bit more, I don't know, action. What made you
Mm,
go into what you're doing now? You take a lot of portraits that some may find very intimidating, that
yeah,
some people, it may make them uncomfortable. But to me,
yeah,
you're capturing just everyday life, the reality
yeah,
of your, like your life.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I did kind of like when I first started out photography, I was like trying to find my style or like things I like to take photos of because although I do love skateboarding, I don't like taking skateboarding photos in a sense because like a lot of skateboarding photos are like shot with like a fisheye or a long lens from like across the street. It's just like uh,
I hate doing
yeah,
that.
but those photos are dope and they're sick, but it's just not the type of photography that like brought value to me, I guess, or like satisfied me. So when I first started, I got on Instagram. Like I said, I've been on Tumblr. I've seen people taking like the architecture, like cityscapes of like downtown New York, LA, stuff like that. And I was like, well, this is photography. This is probably what people want to see. This is what this is just like photography. Like this is the photography people do that's cool or whatever. I was just starting out. I didn't know what to do. But then after time, like I didn't like it wasn't making me feel good. Like taking those photos wasn't making me feel good. And the reason I started doing photography is because I liked it and I wanted to be happy doing it. And I wanted to just like I started it to be happy and like just take photos and be an artist and just show who I am through photography. But none of that stuff was making me feel like I don't know, satisfied. So I always took photos of my friends. Like when I had a little Razor flip phone, I would like just take photos of my friends and stuff like that. They had guns, they were doing whatever they were doing. Like, but I like taking pictures of my friends. So I was like, what if I took pictures of my friends just like that, but with an actual camera? Started doing that, and that's when like the feeling and love for photography started for me.
Was there one photo that you took that kind of reaffirmed that, like, hey, I'm doing the right thing, like this is my niche, like I'm this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Mm. I think I think more so like I definitely started taking these photos because like this is where I'm from, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm surrounded by, and I don't have to get out. Like I could just walk outside and like this is what I'm around. Um, I think I started taking those photos because of just like um, convenience, but I did realize after a while, I don't really remember the photo or like what it was for me that like made me feel like this is it and like this is why I'm a photographer. But I did feel like it was important for people to like see these type of things, even if it wasn't like the whole world seeing it or anything like that. Just people who haven't seen it. There's people who live 20 miles away from me who don't know that like this is an actual place. Like where I'm from is an actual place. So
What are you serious? What's the response been like?
at first it was like when I first started doing these photos, I think people know it now, like, oh, this like he takes photos in these areas. And like people, as years go on, this is 7 years ago when I started. So as years go on, people are more accepting of things that they don't understand. But at first it was wild. Like so many people messaging me, emailing me, calling me all types of names. It was crazy. Like I didn't even understand. I was just like, some of this stuff doesn't even have anything to do with anybody. So I didn't understand why anybody cared so much. But um, growing up, I was like, what, 19? So like growing up, I was just so young and didn't understand. But as I got older, I think now I'm like, oh, this is why, or oh, that's because this person is a Republican or they're liberal or this happened or that happened and school shootings, so they don't like guns and whatever the reason, whatever, I don't know. People have their reasons for not liking things or being disconnected from whatever it is. But at the same time, I still feel like these things need to be, um, I guess, seen
Like
and
showcased?
yeah, and talked about and whatever. Bro, the hardest things to talk about are the most important things to talk about. So, in my opinion, um, that's another reason why I do it. And yeah, just to show like life where I'm from. So,
So 7 years ago when you started, what would you say was your biggest difficulty?
um, I think just like finding out who I am, uh, like trying to realize and like figure out who like Vuhlandes is and like who is Vuhlandes? Like that was my biggest like issue. Like, am I this type of photographer? Am I that photographer? Like, who am I? Or what do I do? Like when people think of that name, like what are they associating it with and stuff like that. Um, like I taught myself how to do photography, and like that was hard. And learning apertures, ISOs, and shutter speeds and stuff like that. Like that stuff is hard, and the only way I was able to learn that stuff is just like by doing it. So like I would just like walk around my house taking pictures of a dog, like my dog, or like a vase on the table, just like anything, because like I was just willing to learn, and that's all I wanted to do. So like I took pictures every single day. So that was hard, but I'm not gonna say it was the hardest. I think the hardest thing for me was just mentally, like who I am and what do I do and what do I want to do and stuff like that.
So throughout the 7 years, was there any moment that was memorable for you that kind of pushed you forward? Because a lot of the times we want to give up there. Have you ever also had moments like that where you're just like, I don't even know if I'm gonna keep doing this?
Oh yeah, of course. Uh, like sometimes even still today, you like get those thoughts. Like not so much for me, no more, because like I know what I want to do and like I'm strong minded into like what I want to do and what I want out of life, not just photography. But like those like thoughts still pop up. Like if something like if I have a mild inconvenience, um like I break my lens, I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna give up. I'm like I'm just gonna give up. But um I think like that feeling never like fully like go away. Like I can accomplish like the most successful thing I've ever accomplished and still like the next day feel like damn, that wasn't good enough, because like I'm my biggest critic and stuff like that. So I think like I said, mentally I struggle the most. But if I'm just like strong minded, remember who I am, why I started photography, because I did start photography because I personally like photography and I personally love photography. And I want to get what I want to get out of it. I don't do it for anybody else but me. So as long as I keep reminding myself of that, then like I'm fine. But
First of all, I love your response because there's a lot of people out there who don't hear their favorite photographer or a creative that they look up to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. So they kind of are under this impression that we're living this perfect life. We have no
mhm,
issues. All our pictures come out great. We never have any bad photo shoots.
yeah,
We're here to tell them that's not the case. You even just said,
Yeah.
you said you broke a lens. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Uh, I don't even remember. This was a couple years ago, but um, I don't even remember how I broke it, but it definitely broke, and I was just like ready to give up. Like I pulled it on my camera bag, it was broke. I don't know if I like set it down too hard or whatever, but even if that happened today, I'd be ready to give up though. Like I'd be over it.
Why?
I'm joking, like I'm joking, but it's
Minor
it's a lot.
inconvenience. We're just like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm very dramatic.
Literally say, I'm literally this, you know.
I know it.
I mean, I think it's not just that one thing, but it's a compilation of like just maybe we don't feel like we could be where we are. Do you ever feel like
Yeah.
that? Like, hey, I should be doing like, I don't know. Do you feel like the photography industry makes you feel like if you're not shooting for the cover of Vogue, like you're not a good enough photographer?
Yeah, I used to feel like that. Like also touching on what you said earlier, like I shoot film and I only get 10 frames like per like film roll. And like I've came home to like every single frame being trash to me. Like all these photos suck. So now I gotta throw it away. Like that's a terrible feeling. Like, and I still go through that as a photographer today. And people like, I'll post a photo and people like, oh, you're so good, like this and that and blah blah blah. But like on the flip side of that, you don't know that like I just cut up a roll of film that I fucking hate because all the photos suck to me. But um, anyway, the other question you were saying what?
Also, can I just take a moment to say, I think it would be great if we actually said more of the photo shoots that we kind of failed at. I think people would
Hmm.
like that. Be
Yeah.
like, this photo, I kind of trashed this whole shoot, but here's one of the previews.
I wish I had a photo, or I wish I could remember a shoot to where that happened. That
So
happens a lot.
you wrote this on your Twitter, I think. Your Twitter, by the way, I'm going to get to your Twitter. Hilarious.
I
Hilarious.
love it. I love it.
I love your Twitter. But you wrote something on there and you said, I come from a place where being a photographer isn't talked about and probably the last option on the list. Is there
Hmm.
something that made you write that? Like something that inspired that?
Um, all the time I think about it. Like I think I wrote that because I had literally just came from my hood and like the kids there, like they're all trying to like play basketball. They're all trying to like be rappers. They're all doing other things, like things that aren't creative. And it just made me think about like how growing up, like being a creative person is not something that's talked about within like your household. It's not something unless like you have a family member that also did this like back in the day or something like that. But it's very rare in like the community where I come from. A lot of the people that's in my community are working class people. They work 2 jobs. Some people work 3 jobs, and it's just being a creative is not something that's talked about. You either gonna be very athletic and go to school for sports, and or you're gonna be a rapper because like being a rapper, a lot of people have that gift in these neighborhoods or whatever, as you know. But anyway, it's just something that's not talked about. It's not talked about in school. I never had a class or anything up until not even in high school where they talked about photography or videography. So actually, I think I had one class where we had like it was like a TV class where like we filmed stuff. But like that was my first introduction. I was like what 16 years old. Some people get introduced to it when they're like 10. So um, I don't know. It's just something that's not talked about at all. So that's what made me write that because thinking about it, I shouldn't be a photographer under the circumstances.
So what do you think? What do you think other people would expect you to be?
Like, I mean, I'm short, so not like a basketball player or anything like that. But I mean, my mom wanted me to like just go to school. Like, if you don't do something create, like if you don't do like basketball or like become a rapper and start making a lot of money, the only other option is to like go to college, get an education, or do something else. I'm not gonna say what that something else is over there, but do something else. My mom wanted me to go to school and do something. She didn't even care what I went to school for. She just wanted me to go to school, get an education, and that's a way to be successful. Because I think the most Black parents they really press education on their children. Like my mom was very big on like, you need to get an education. If you don't have anything else, you need to have an education. I think as time goes on, that kind of like you can not go to school and be very educated. Like YouTube University is a thing. Uh,
What
Google
about WhatsApp
University.
University?
What's that?
WhatsApp University. Oh my God.
But yeah, like I think nowadays you don't necessarily need to go to school to be educated. I think being smart is subjective. Like people learn what they want to learn. You can take the time out to be very smart in math, or you could take the time to be very smart using the camera. So I think it's all subjective, but photography is not one of the things that was on the list of things for me to do growing up.
How was the response from your family like when you decided to be a photographer to the point where you are now?
So when I went to college, like I went to college for this was before I became a photographer too. Like I went to college and I went for a year, and then like I went for like actually I went for 2 years. And one day I was sitting in class and I just got up and left. I was like, I'm out of here. Like I literally
What?
was sitting there and I was just like, I'm leaving because I didn't want to be there. It just didn't, like, school is not something for me. I didn't want to be there. Like, I felt very weird being there. I felt very uncomfortable. I felt very depressed, just not something I wanted to be doing. So I just got up and left. Teacher was like, where are you going? I was like, I'll be back. And I just never went back. And then after that, like, my mom, she was very upset because, she pushed me to go to college. She was like, you need to go to college. After that, she was like, she wasn't very upset, but she was just like, well, like, what are you going to do now? Like, my mom was like, the person where you either have to be working or going to school. And I wasn't going to school. So like I had to get a job. And I was like, I actually don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm not going to school. And she was just like, at some point, like you just like your parents just be like, all
They
right.
give up on you low key. They're like,
Yeah.
whatever, I don't care.
She didn't give up on me, but she just knew that she couldn't force me to do anything I didn't want to do. So she was just like, all right. And then when I first started doing photography, I told her, I was like, I'll be successful doing something else. I don't know what that something else is yet, but it's gonna be something else. So when I first started doing photography, the good thing about my mom is like she's very supportive. I used to rap when I was in high school. I was very bad. And she supported it. She like show all her friends like, oh, my son, look, he raps. But anyway, when I first started doing photography, she was supportive of it. She didn't think it would be like a job to like where I supported myself or did anything like that. But she did support it. Like she supported me skateboarding and everything else. So as time goes on, uh, everybody's always very supportive. Like, oh, you got a camera, that's cool, that's dope, whatever, blah, blah. It's always like, nobody ever told me that like, you can't be successful being a photographer. I wasn't around anybody who like had that negativity. Like I wouldn't even put myself in a position to be like around that negativity where somebody would say something like that to me. But I know that it is a thing that people say to like their kids or people, like you can't be successful being a photographer. You got to go be a doctor, go do something that you can actually make a living off of. Nobody ever told me that, but I do know that like people have said it before, so I know.
I feel like you were talking to me for a second. I was like, because I've heard that in my, like
Yeah.
in my culture, especially like I relate to that is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
because they expect you to be like, for us, it would be like a doctor or a pharmacist. So
Hmm.
you're kind of put into this box already. And
Hmm.
you ended up going to college, but then
Hmm.
realized 2 years in, right? Was it 2 years?
Yeah.
That it wasn't
Hmm.
like you just got up and left. You're like, I'm not doing this anymore. So at least you tried it. I actually commend you
Yeah.
for actually trying it. What did you go to college for? Did you know what you were going to study?
No, I just picked business administration because it seemed like easy. But yeah, I had no choice to go. My mom was like, you can't live here unless you're working or going to school. I was like, I don't want to be homeless, so like I have no choice. Um and I didn't know how to get a job. Like I got a job like after I dropped out of high school, not high school, college. I ended up getting a job at Kroger, and like that was my first job I ever worked. But I was like, how do I even get a job or anything like that? Like high school did not set me up to be an
They
adult
don't
at
teach you
all.
anything. Taxes. How did you learn?
Not
Well, I
nothing.
didn't learn taxes from school.
Very important stuff to like learn about. I did not learn about in high school. They like just throw you out there, like
What's
teach
the
you like
biggest thing that you think they should have taught you?
um I don't know, just like, I
Credit
don't know.
cards, mortgages, and literally
Yeah,
anything.
credit, like
Tax.
anything financial, like financial literacy, probably, like anything that has to do with that stuff, like real life stuff, not like calculus. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Algebra. Do you still use
Algebra.
algebra till this day?
I mean, maybe you do in some cases, but like not on the level that they were like making you do it at.
As long as you
Like
know
you
two
might
plus
have,
two, that's it. Like basic addition,
honestly,
subtraction. Well, listen, we
and
got
honestly, you don't even,
the iPhone really is making this easy for us these days.
I'm about to say, you don't even have to know how to learn. You don't even have to know how to do that stuff nowadays because the internet. But yeah, just, and if they were
So
going to teach us anything, it should have been about like US history. Like if they wanted to teach us things that like mean something, but like don't really add value to your life, but like it's still good to know these things. I don't know. Whatever. It adds value to your life. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
like we mentioned a lot of stuff that we didn't learn in high school, even in college too. When it comes to photography, you had to learn all that stuff from scratch. You
Yeah.
because what do you think about people having an opinion on, oh, you should go to college for photography, and then no, you can do all of that without having to go to college? What's
Oh,
your
don't
opinion
waste
on
your
that?
money. Don't waste your money. Literally, I would not recommend going to. I did a podcast on this. Like it was probably like a couple months ago. But yeah, just don't waste your money. It's not. It was never that serious.
They can't really you can't really teach someone to be artistic, and like you either
You
know if
can't.
you either got the passion or you don't.
Yeah, you can't. Um, I just yeah, don't waste your time. Like if you want to learn, then I'm pretty sure there's like very beneficial things about going to college for photography, but I feel like the most beneficial thing is like being an artist. So, and you can't be taught that nowhere. So, I don't know. I just don't recommend it.
What about the business side of photography? How did you learn that? Because listen, pricing, contracts, deposits, all that stuff,
Hmm.
it can be pretty
Uh,
tricky. I don't even know if they I don't even know. I didn't go to school for photography, so I don't know if they taught that. But how did you take on all of that? Again, starting photography, knowing absolutely nothing.
Maybe they do teach that in college. Who knows? I'll never know. But
Someone who went to college for that, let us know in the comments.
um, I don't know. I really just like was winging it every single time. Like someone would ask me, I'd wing it. I feel like when I first started, like I wouldn't want to like say anything too high because like I wanted the job, but I definitely didn't want to scare them off by asking for too much money or anything like that. And I don't know. At first, I was just doing like stuff like senior photos, like for money wise. Like I would do like senior photos or stuff like that. And I know there's a base price that people pay for that. So I would just say whatever that was, like $200 or something like that. And then it really threw me off because like the first time I shot for a brand, like $1 million company, like how much money do I ask for them? Because they have millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So uh, I don't know. I really just was winging it. I was saying whatever I thought my price, like however much I thought I was worth, my time was worth, and stuff like that. So I would just go off based off the job and how much time I thought I was worth. And I remember one time I did this shoot for Adidas, and they asked me like, "What's your day rate?" And I was like I really wanted to shoot for Adidas, but like I was at the point where like I could ask for more money, I guess, but I was like $2,000, and like I said it like kind of like scared, like please, like
Like, please let
so
me do this job.
yeah. But then the dude from Adidas called me and he was like, bro, like, because he has to tell the person I was talking to has to tell the person that's like doing it like how much I charge or whatever. Anyway, so he called me. He was like, nah, bro. He was like, you're a very good photographer. Your time is worth a lot, and we're asking you to do this. So like clearly we want you to do it. So he was like, you should be charging $4,000 a day. And I was like, okay. But he was like, yeah, I'm gonna tell him $4,000 or whatever. And I was like, okay. But ever since then, I was like, he's right. Like they're asking me, so like they want me to do it. And if the more time I put into like becoming a better photographer, the more I can, I guess, charge and like feel comfortable charging. And then I just got over like feeling bad about like not getting a job. Like, cause sometimes people have asked me to like shoot things and they're like, we'll give you like 1.5, like 1.5, like $1,000, like $1,500. I couldn't get that out.
1,500.
$1,500. Yes. And I'd be like, no, because like if something doesn't make sense to me, I'm not gonna do it. So I've lost out on like money because I don't want to be lowballed. And I feel like when you like lower yourself too, like it kind of messes it up for everybody else. Because if you take a job for $500 and then they come ask me and I'm like, no, I charge $3,000 for that, they're gonna be like, no, this person did it for 500. So like it's the same thing. But so I stopped doing that because it messes up other people and getting their money and stuff like that. If I charge too little, especially like somebody with a bigger following, if they charge like $500 for something, and then they go to somebody with a smaller following than that, they're gonna be like, damn, this person with 1 million followers did it for this much. Like you're not even on that level yet. Blah 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 blah. Even though followers don't even mean how good of a photographer you are, but I don't know. These companies, that's how they operate, I guess. But I just stopped caring. And if either you're gonna like do it for the price I want you to do that, or we're just not gonna do it, or we're gonna work something out that makes sense for me. But yeah, I kind of stopped letting people, because low-key kind of disrespectful like
They're
sometimes.
like, we're $1 billion company. We only have $400 budget for
Yeah,
you.
like why? Like that's like why'd you even ask me this? Like I pay rent, like I have a cat. Like come on, bro. I
The
got things
cat
to
by
take
itself,
care of.
that's like $1,000 right there. You should have added 1,000 for your
That's
cat.
what I'm saying. Like I got things to take care of. Like these are grown people who also have uh like responsibilities, asking other grown people to like do things for less than like what they would do it for. So gotta make it make sense. Come on, bro. Like at
You
some
made
point
an
it's not even
excellent
about the money.
You made an excellent point though. The fact that bigger photographers, like you
Hmm.
were saying, in terms of the followers
Hmm.
and the exposure that they get, charging less, it does affect all the other photographers in that community or whoever else
Hmm.
gets contacted for that same job.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing. I mean, that's happened to me before where like I said like my price and they're like they name dropped and was like, well, this person did it for
No
this
way.
much. Yeah, and I'm just like, well, bro, like I'm not them. Like you didn't ask, like you asked me. Like we're two different people. So what does that have to do with me?
See, that just proves that they're using that as leverage to get you to price yourself less for literally no
Hmm.
reason other than the decision that somebody else made.
Yeah, true. That's why like I don't even be like trying to. That's why money is so just. I wish it didn't exist. Like I know it has to, but I'm so over just like money being like the root of everything and just like the like center of the universe, because I don't really care about money like that. I personally do photography because I like doing photography. If I never got paid for it, I'd be perfectly fine. I'd work a regular job and not get paid to do photography and just do photography because I love it. But bro, like if I'm gonna do this, like it's just too many politics that go into it. That's why like I only do things that make sense for me and people that respect me and stuff like that. So, because all the other stuff just it's just too much. I don't even want to like it's too stressful. It's just fake. Like I don't even want to get into it. If people think you're more successful because you make more money, or like you're a better photographer because you made more money, or anything like any external factor into being a photography just annoys me, and I can't get with it. But whatever, I guess it's a part of the game, being making money. If I'm gonna do this and like make a living off of it, clearly I need to make money. But I try to do it in a way that's like not annoying, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even think you realize what you just brought up because there are some photographers that are such great business people, and yet their
Hmm.
portfolio, like maybe it's not as strong as, say, another photographer, but they would get the jobs because they're able to pitch and they're able to kind of sell their work as it is, even though,
Hmm.
again, their talent may not be equal to another artist out there who
Hmm.
probably has like a better vision. It's
Yeah.
so, and we're living in the age now where, again, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have all the social media that kind of contributes to brands working with specific people, even though, again, they may not be as talented as a smaller, lesser known photographer, which I also do not agree with. I agree with you. Like, I don't think following means that you're a better photographer or that you
Yeah.
have like even more experience than somebody
Right.
with like 1,000 followers. But it's
hmm
kind of sad that that's where it's gotten to right now, that we base people's talent off follower number. And again, there's just some people who are better at the business side of things, which I don't know about you. I'm terrible at that. Would you say, I feel like in talking to you, you're more of an artistic, hey, like I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. But there's some people out there, again, they do it like it's I'm going to charge you for every single thing, and they see it as more of a business, and again, purely monetary instead of this is my passion.
hmm Yeah, that's why like when it gets to that point, like the fun is taken out of it, which is why like I'm not very business orientated when it comes to photography. I've actually never reached out to a brand. I've never pitched anything. Every job that I ever got, like through Nike, Adidas, whoever it was, like they reached out to me. I never once like sent an email to anybody. And I'm fortunate enough to like have that happen and not have to be like so super businessman type because that's not who I am. I went to school for business administration. I didn't learn anything. But the thing is, I wouldn't know how to do it. Like I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that. No offense to I guess anybody who does that, like because I guess some people treat it like a business, and that they're more than welcome to. I'll never tell anybody what they can and can't do. But for me personally, it's not about business. It's about literally just being a photographer and taking photos. But yeah, a lot of people yeah, like so I feel like that it hurts too because like some people like they want followers just so they can use it as leverage for their business. Like I got 1 million followers, so like you gotta I'm verified, so you gotta like it's a lot of politics that I don't get into and I don't agree with, but it is what it is.
It's this new age of Instagram, which, again, even me, like I'm like, even where I'm at, there are many photographers who have like 2 followers that are way better than me, and I'm like, okay. Sometimes I feel
hmm
like I have imposter syndrome. Do you know what that is?
I just read that the other day, yeah.
I feel like I have that all the, like, are we imposters or no?
I've seen people with like lesser followers than me that are very good, like amazing, and I'm like jealous of how good they are. And uh, I know the internet make it seems like the more followers you got, the better photographer you are. But there's so many good photographers who have like no followers, and so many good photographers who aren't even on the internet. It's man, so good. A lot
Social
of
media.
photographers, a lot of photographers
Speaking
are amazing.
Speaking of social media, I gotta turn to your Twitter page because I wrote down some tweets. I want I want to get your feedback on some of these tweets. And
hmm
a few of them were directed towards Nikon.
Oh yeah.
You wrote right next to Nikon, paparazzi photographers are the worst. What caused this disdain for Nikon?
Paparazzi photographers are the worst though. Like I remember I seen like a video of them like trying to take photos of like Kim Kardashian or something. And they're just like acting like animals. I'm like, bro, I could never act like that just to get a photo of somebody. That's so weird. And they're just like disrespectful. Not all of them, but like these specific ones, I was like, oh, they're the worst. But the disdain for Nikon,
I just have to ask every time I log into Twitter, not every time, but I see you. They're hilarious, by the way. I just have to say, but I just want to know the backstory, like what caused all of this.
man, so many people hate me for this. Like I have people who I made a video about like why I don't like Nikon. And ever since I made this video, like so many people hate me. So many people hate me. Like people literally, I will drop a video and within like 10 seconds, no lie, 10 seconds of it being up, it has like 5 dislikes. And it's like, I made people so mad that they like literally don't want to see me shine at all. But anyway, it started off as a joke because like I just thought it was funny. Like Nikon was the first like camera brand I ever heard of. It was the National Geographic camera brand. And I just always thought the people who shot with those cameras looked very like funny, like corny and like a dad and
I
lame
saw the
and
starter pack.
yeah, like I don't know, it was just funny and whatever. I know there's Nikon cameras out there that and Nikon photographers out there that are very good and are not camo shorts or like khaki shorts and like photo vest wearing type of people, but it's just funny and it's hilarious how like upset they get because I feel like the people who get the most upset are like the people who wear their camera brand as their brand and like their personality is their camera brand. And those are the people who get the most upset. Because if somebody came to me and they're like, what film camera do I have? They're like, Mamiya sucks and everything about it sucks. I'd be like, okay, like cool. Like I wouldn't even care. Actually, I wouldn't even respond. I wouldn't care at all because I shoot with it, not you. Who cares? But anyway, they all hate me. Um, it came from just being funny. And but the thing is, when you remember the Black Lives Matter thing that happened,
Yes.
so they and like everybody was like uh they're asking for like a statement because during this time, if you're gonna be a brand and not stand with the people who support your brand and the people who also, you know, value you as a brand, then it's some issues there. And um there's a lot of people on Nikon's like they're like post on Instagram like saying like, hey, are you guys gonna say anything about the Black Lives Matter thing, this and that, whatever. And they're not, I guess, obligated to give a statement. A lot of people act like I'm not a 26-year-old man who knows like of anything. Like I know camera brands aren't obligated to do anything they don't want to do. Anybody's not obligated to do anything they don't want to do. They they don't have to give a statement if they don't want to. The thing is, we're just asking. Like I was just asking, where's the statement? Y'all gonna give one or not? And they blocked me. Like Nikon blocked me.
Nike, the actual, like verified
Like
account.
that. Yes, blocked me. So
Okay,
and I
like
was like, and literally I didn't say anything. I was just like, where's the statement at though? Like there's a lot of people who like, you know, want this statement and care about this. Like and there's a lot of people out there that look like me that want a statement. They're like putting money in your company and this and that, and they want to know that you care about them as a consumer. That's all. They blocked me. And I was like, okay, well, now I really don't like Nikon. This is my reason now that I don't like Nikon. The other times it's just been funny, joke, but now it's like, why'd y'all block me? I didn't do nothing. Like there's other people also commenting on this. Did y'all block them or no? They probably seen my other like tweets and stuff already, and they're just like,
they're like,
we're
we
over
should
it.
block this. I just took it as a joke when you were talking about Nikon in the beginning. I was like, oh, you know, I don't like
Just
you. I
funny.
don't take it seriously. Like I don't attach the camera brand I'm using to my identity as a person.
Yeah,
We can't speak for Nikon. We're not trying to speak for Nikon, but
yeah.
to black somebody,
I was just like, wow, man. I mean, the thing is, it's not just Nikon. Like it was any, and I know most of these camera brands aren't even like American, like manufactured or anything like that. But racism isn't something that just happens in America. And a lot of people are trying to tell me like you expect a Japanese or whatever, wherever they're from, like camera brand to care about these things. And it's like, okay, so racism doesn't happen over there. I'm confused. Like the racism stop in America? Like, why wouldn't they care? And even if it only happened in America, this is still something everyone should care about, regardless. So it's not like issues like this is why America take on issues of other countries and stuff like that. Sometimes they do too much. Don't get me wrong, America be doing too much, but the thing is, everybody in the world should care about everybody else in the world, not just the people in your country. You should care about everybody. So um, yeah, that's all I was saying. And a lot of people they always have, regardless, there's gonna be comments on this video and they're gonna be like, they're gonna be mad about it and they're gonna have their reasons and they're gonna say the stuff they want to say. But at the end of the day, if I had a brand and a lot of people was buying from my brand. Um, say a lot of Arab people was buying from my brand, and something was happening in the Arab community that like affected Arabs worldwide, and my brand was a big part of that, and I wasn't saying anything about it. Some Arab people would be like, okay, like, do you care about us or not? Like, it would actually be my obligation to let them know I stand with them because I love them, not just even because they buy my products, but because they're human beings at the end of the day. And people just, I don't know. I don't know why that's so hard to understand, but it is what it is.
I don't think it's a big thing to do. It's just the right thing to do.
I literally say there's right and wrong. In every situation, there's right and there's wrong, and you're either right or you're wrong. So at the end of the day, by not saying nothing, you're wrong.
Don't you feel like there's a lack of inclusivity within the ambassador programs as well, within certain camera brands? I'll say I've noticed that over the last few years they've made improvements, but we're still very far from where we could be in terms of
Th-
diversity, different types of
That was the issue.
photographers.
Yeah, like that was the issue too. Like a lot of people I also saw in the comments weren't like they were mad too because they were like, your camera brand doesn't even like it's not like inclusive to everybody. Yeah, so like not only that, but like now this is happening and you're still not saying nothing. So like that just goes to show you actually don't care. Like not even just like with Black people, like there's like one woman on the team. Like there's
Yeah,
no,
it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. You can't even deny it. You
yeah,
cannot deny it. I've seen the board personally of the
hmm
ambassadors, and every company has different, like a different type of program. So
hmm
I hope that it changes. It needs to change.
yeah,
You can't have just one type of photographer on
person.
there.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
also
have one
think
type of person on there.
yeah, I also think like not even like as far as like all these photographers also like shoot the same thing. Like there's like 5 wedding photographers on this list, and then there's 3 like um wildlife photographers on this list. Like everybody just like shoots the same thing. Like why are there no conceptual photographers on this list? There are no portrait like environmental portrait photographers on this list. There's no documentary photographers on it. It's just like all the same thing. It just like I don't even know. Also, I heard Nikon was like going under though. Like the brand is like um, dying.
I feel like this is turning into like we hate.
I don't hate Nikon, but like I just heard that.
No, I actually I don't know. Is that true? I don't keep up with any camera news. I'm like in the dark about all that stuff. You know, there's some people who are like really crazy about that. They're like, oh, they're releasing this new camera with 50 megapixels, and I'm like, oh, I still have the same camera from like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that stuff. Literally, the only reason I heard about that is because people know I don't like Nikon, so they just
Oh,
send me
so
that
they brought
stuff.
it up to you.
Yeah, they just like I get DMs and they're like, look what you did." I'm like, "I didn't do this. What are you talking about?"
It's because they blocked you.
Yeah, but I mean, I know that's a social media person and not like the brand itself, but
Yeah.
still,
So there's another tweet. This tweet made me laugh so hard. It's about
I'm the
Nikon.
fu- I'm the funniest person on Twitter.
You said, I'll shoot with a slice of cornbread before I ever pick up a Nikon. Listen, I gotta know, what made you tweet this?
I don't
Was this
know.
before or after they blocked you?
I don't recall. It could have been either. I don't know.
You kept the same energy throughout. That's good.
Yeah, I don't change, but I don't know. I just like even in like my videos on YouTube, like I like comedy and I like being funny. I was a class clown in high school. I always like just like to make people laugh and stuff like that. So um, funny things come to my head all day. I literally think about things that I find hilarious all day, and if I think it's funny enough to tweet, I'll tweet. Even if it's not funny enough to tweet, I'll still tweet it. I just like trying to make people laugh, even in my videos.
It seems
I
like
don't know.
it seems like you're also a bit of a risk taker too, because you've been banned and your photos have been removed because it violates community guidelines. So what
Plenty of
happens?
times.
Yeah. What's your response to that?
Instagram actually deleted my page. like a couple years ago because they like you've been like I don't know why they deleted my page, but they deleted my page, and like I always appeal it because like one time they deleted one of my photos of a house on fire because it went against community guidelines. It was like abusive, like speech or something, like abusive slash hate speech. And I was like, a picture of a house fire? How is that abusive or hate speech? And I don't know, but I know the things that I do on Instagram aren't against the guidelines, so I just keep doing the same thing. There's also a lot of people on there who do worse things than me, and uh, also the same thing as me, and they don't get the same treatment. But um, I think Instagram low key like computer generated kind of operated. So sometimes it's just a mistake. I don't know.
And then also dealing with the other side of social media, again, comments. You made a video on criticism, like constructive criticism, and then just like shit talking. So what
Right.
was there any sort of thing that led up to that?
Oh yeah. Like I'm on social media a lot, like I guess because I do this, but I'm on social media a lot. A lot of the time people they it's happened to me so many times in the past because like I remember I used to like overexpose my photos a lot, but that was a personal style that I personally liked and I personally did. It was my photos, so I felt like I was allowed to do whatever I wanted with my photos. But a lot of people would be like, "Stop overexposing your photos," and then I'll be like, "Shut the hell up." And they're like, "I'm just trying to give you constructive criticism." And I'm like, "That's not constructive criticism. You literally told me to stop doing something because you don't like it. That's not like that's not telling me like, hey, your photos are a little overexposed. Um, no pressure or anything, but in my opinion, I think it would look better if they weren't overexposed. But to be like, stop overexposing, it sucks. That's not constructive criticism. That's literally shit talking. Um, there's another dude like sometimes in my film photos I have like dust and scratches and stuff like that on my film because I like it. I don't like my film to be perfect because in my opinion life is not perfect. My photography is not perfect. So to have some dust and film scratches on it, um, I like it. So um, somebody had commented on the photo. You know, on Twitter, like if somebody quote retweets it, then their followers see it. They did that, and some dude commented up under that and was like, "Yeah, he's a good photographer, but he needs to clean off his negatives because they're dirty as fuck." And um, I like my negatives dirty. And then he was like, no hate or anything like that, but he was like, no hate and nothing personal, but I just don't like dust or anything on film. And I was like, you do understand that that's actually personal. You just gave a personal reason to why you don't like something and said it's nothing personal. Like that's actually personal. Um, so he was just like, so then he DM'd me. He was like, yeah, you're right. Like I shouldn't have said that, blah, blah. Like I can't put what I personally like on other people's art. But anyway, I just see it all the time on the internet. Like, but when you put your photos or anything creative on the internet, it's literally open. Like you give people the access to critique it or say whatever they want about it. And not all the time do people give constructive criticism as they would like to say. I think people like to pass off shit talking as constructive criticism. Or like if you say something back to them, like, you can't take constructive criticism. It's like, okay, you told
They
me I
said like
suck.
your
That's not
photography is terrible, the picture
like
sucks.
that's not constructive criticism, bro. You just talking shit. Like, but yeah, it just happens all the time. And I think people don't even realize, I think a lot of people don't even realize that um, what they're doing is offensive and kind of disrespectful and hurtful. And also, I personally think opinions should only be casted if asked. If I posted a photo and was like, I love these photos, and somebody critiqued the whole thing, even if it was constructive, I still think it should be warranted. Like if I posted something that was like, give me your feedback on this, and people gave me their feedback, that's different than just unwarranted being like, these photos suck. Like it's different. So I personally know that's not going to happen on the internet,
And
but
I was about to
I,
be like, it's literally Instagram or even YouTube. YouTube,
yeah,
but I feel like people, I feel like few people have malicious intent, or they just don't know how to maybe word
Yeah,
things, but I
yeah,
feel like they don't mean any true harm, but I understand where you're coming from. But being
yeah.
on the internet, you just, like you even know, you just got to get ready for all the comments about your work. And the difference being on YouTube as a photographer too, you're
Hmm.
showing your process and you're
Yeah,
sharing that with everybody, versus somebody maybe in private kind of developing their own style, and people are
yeah,
not really commenting on it. So
yeah.
it has that level of I think you would tend to take it more personally, because
Hmm.
that is your work, and you struggled to get to where you are today. So
Yeah,
I
it's
get it, I get
natural.
it.
Yeah, it's definitely natural. And I definitely think a lot of people who critique or talk shit don't have malicious intent. Some people do, like they straight up like whatever, but I think most people don't want to like disrespect you or anyway. That's why on my YouTube channel too, though, like I make it known that um art is it literally has no rules. You can do whatever you want. If people don't like it, then that's their fault. And it has nothing to do with what you like or what you don't like. If you want to underexpose your photos and that's what you like, then do that because it's what you want to do. And it's your art and nobody can tell you how to create art. And if you let people start telling you how to do that, then like why are you even doing it in the first place? So that's why on my YouTube channel, I also let people know on my YouTube channels, I don't know the rule. Like I don't know like if I do like a technical video, which I don't do often, but if I shoot with a different camera, I let people know I don't know the specs and I don't actually care to know the specs. Does this camera take good pictures or not? That's all I care about. And people respect that. At least I don't get on there acting like I know everything because I don't know everything and I'll never know everything. I don't even care to know everything. So yeah, that's where I am.
Look, it's impossible to know the ins and outs of the camera to the T. And I'm not good at anything technical. And I also felt like that because I didn't know that, I wasn't a good enough photographer. But
Hmm.
now you just kind of learn to be who you are and just be real about it. Like, hey, I honestly don't know about how many megapixels is on this camera, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. But
yeah,
I
who
do feel
cares?
like you should know the basics.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna like go out and teach about photography, maybe you should know how to like not shoot on
Yeah,
auto. But
true, true.
but yeah, but also, I mean, that's if you're teaching about photography, I guess, or like trying to, I guess, push photography on other people, at least know a little bit about a little something. But I shoot with 10 different cameras. I can't know everything about everything. And yeah, like I literally just got a camera the other day and I haven't even looked at it or like tried to learn it yet. But YouTube University, here I come.
You didn't read the manual?
Nah,
I don't think I've ever read one manual. But
me
you know
neither.
what, Valandis, I love the fact that you're so real about it, and you do say, I honestly don't know the technicalities of this camera, because a lot of
Hmm.
photographers may feel like they need to know all of that in order to be a, the like a standard photographer or a photographer that's accepted by other people. Like, oh, you need to know the specs of this, and it's just not
Hmm.
realistic, because a lot of us
Yeah.
just start taking the camera, going and taking pictures. We don't look up, the megapixel size, or the
Hmm.
shoot settings, or some stuff like that. So I think you're portraying a very realistic version of photography.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes photography can be unrealistic depending on who videos you're watching or what you're watching or who you're looking at. Like I said, I taught myself everything, and the way I learned was just doing it. So I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and that's how I do photography. If something has 2 megapixels, if I like it, I'm gonna like it, even if I didn't know that it had two megapixels or not. I just like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. That's just
We
where
kind
I
of
am
did use
about
a
it.
2 megapixel camera. Remember the toy camera challenge?
Oh yeah, we did. But if I would have liked that camera, like I wouldn't have needed to know the ins and out of it. Like I like the camera. Who cares?
And like I said, as long as you know the basics, I think you'll be, like you said, aperture, ISO, shutter speed, like a little bit of the metering and stuff like that, you'll be good. Like you'll
Mhm.
be fine.
Yeah.
I didn't
I,
start knowing any of that stuff either. So,
yeah. I think if
but that
people understand lighting, then like once you understand lighting, all that other stuff doesn't even matter. Literally doesn't matter. I used to shoot with a 5D classic, like the very first 5D. And I've shot some of my favorite photos I've ever shot in my life on that camera. And today people be like, "That's 5D classic. Like you're not shooting with the newest
Oh my God.
16 million megapixel
Mirrorless,
camera." Like no, yeah, like no,
50
like
megapixel.
like
I'm
none of
like,
that
I
stuff
can't.
matters.
I wanted to ask you to help me with something.
Okay,
A starter pack for photographers. We need to make one right now. Let's start
starter pack
the the starter pack for basic photography, like any photographer.
for any photographer. All right, what we
Let's make a
starting with?
starter pack. Okay.
Oh,
I just listen. You say you're a comedian. We gotta see this. We gotta see this class clown come out right now. We're gonna make a starter pack for photographers. Me and you are gonna work on it. So we're gonna talk it out, and I'm gonna put up like a little graphic here.
all right. So first of all, we need the not a camera strap, but like the wrist strap. You know, the one that go around your wrist.
No, I've never seen that.
You never seen the wrist camera strap?
No, they don't do it on their wrist. I've seen the belt ones.
Oh, that's
The ones
mm,
like in the tan beige, like the not the tan, like the tan color leather that like
wait.
like it's like a sash, like a beauty queen sash.
Oh yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Should we do that?
Maybe on the backpack. Maybe like the camera that like hooks onto the backpack.
Okay, let's do that. What kind of backpack are they holding?
I don't know. I don't know camera bag, so that's on you.
Okay, like we'll say like you know those backpacks with like a little tree logo and stuff, like the hiking backpacks.
Ah, yeah. There you go.
And then what camera would they be holding? What camera's going in our start? Nikon?
Could be.
You don't even want to say yet. We'll put Nikon in the starter pack because we love Nikon. No hate against
Okay.
Nikon. This is a show of a peace offering to Nikon. We're gonna add you in the starter pack, and then what else?
A safari hat. I'm adding a safari hat, whether they're hiking through like mountains on snow. I want the safari hat
So okay, fine. We'll put the safari hat in there, and
and some Ray
then
Bans.
Ray Bans.
Bro, you know what? The starter pack should just be like discombobulated. They should have Hawaiian shirt, uh, like snow
Khaki
pants,
pants, long khaki
or
pants.
or those pants that like zip, like you can unzip them and they turn into shorts.
What? I've never seen
What?
that before.
Bro, please look them up. They're like short pants. They're like they're pants, but they got zippers at the knee, so you can take the pants off and they can be shorts.
I've never seen that in my life. Being added to the starter pack.
Look it up. I'm telling you, look it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look at. Well, what do
Look
I call it? Zip up
look up
pants?
short
Zip up.
pants. Pants shorts.
That's not
Shorts
gonna
that turn
help.
pants that turn into
Zip
shorts.
pants that turn into short. No.
Zipper pants to shorts,
Convertible.
bro.
I found them. I literally
Yeah.
found. Okay, we're putting these in. Wow, I need to get
Those are
myself a
crazy.
pair.
Low key, they kind of sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Summer's coming up.
You ready
Okay, and
for
then the
any occasion?
shoes. What shoes are we wearing?
Um, oh, Chelsea boots.
What is I don't know any of this stuff.
Oh
Chelsea
my God, you know
boots?
Chelsea boots. You're Arab.
Chelsea boots. Oh. Okay, I know these.
You know the Chelsea boots. Come on,
Do Arabs wear these a lot?
Arab men. They throwing a fit.
Oh my God, you're so right. I didn't even think about it. Oh my God. You're so right.
Telling you.
Okay. So we're doing the Chelsea boots, and then any sayings. What is this photographer saying?
Um, I need to look at my Canon photographers be like video.
Um, what's your ISO at? I don't know. I'm so bad at this.
Me too.
What do photographers
I
say
do.
a lot?
I don't know.
They never look in the viewfinder. They only look in the back. They only look in the back of the camera. They never look in the viewfinder.
Am I even a photographer? I don't know what
They take
photographers
pictures of
say.
mountains. Have you ever taken a picture of a mountain?
I have.
Oh, okay. I never have. Okay.
You
Actually,
haven't?
maybe I have. I don't know. So everyone in the comments, let us know what else we can add to this starter pack. We would love to hear what you guys think. Vuhlandes, it's been an action-packed, not interview, but chit chat, I guess, casual chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I
even know
like
what
these.
is this, like a just conversation?
I guess.
Chill. I don't even know what to even
This is
say.
like a conversation we would have in person.
Yeah, that's how I want it to be. I don't want it to be like an interview.
Yeah. We've
It's like,
had like similar conversations in person.
yeah, with pancakes and
Was that
omelets.
there you go. Yeah. It
Remember when
was
we went
omelet.
to the Coney Island?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So good. They got some good pancakes at the Coney Island.
You like pancakes? I don't like pancakes. I like waffles. I like French toast.
Yeah, you ordered waffles, I think. I don't even know. I don't even remember. I don't even know
I
why I
think I might
ordered
have got
that.
French toast. I hate pancakes. I don't hate them, but you know.
I would like to thank Vuhlandes for joining me for our little conversation here. You're amazing. Thanks for sharing all of that. I didn't know that you did skateboarding. I didn't know that you went to college for 2 years. I think that's amazing. I love how you ended up where you are today. It really, like, your progression really shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to thank you for sharing that with us.
Of course, life is crazy. I'm glad I'm here.
Well, thank you. And we're going to have Vuhlandes' links in the description. You can follow him on Instagram. You guys got to follow his Twitter. He's hilarious. Don't miss his tweets. So thank you, and we'll see you in our next video. Why do I keep saying our? I keep saying our video, but I mean, it is our, this one's our video. See you in the next video. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
I might be in the next video just surveillancing.
Toy camera challenge part 2.
Part 2.
Coming soon. Bye, guys.
All right.
See you.
Yeah.